Hey guys, my name is Elisa Ace, a spiritual medium, and welcome back to another video. So we've got a really good video for you guys today where I'm going to be telling you about the specific evidence that a woman's 2 cats in spirit gave me in my reading with her, and I will be including pictures of the evidence. It's been about 8 or 9 days since I've put up a new video, and that's because I am now also making videos for my new Facebook page, which is called Tales Beyond the Veil. There will also be a page on TikTok, but for now it's on Facebook. So in this new page, I tell your listener-submitted true supernatural story times. So if you're into that kind of thing, if you like hearing true spooky stories, then follow me at Tales Beyond the Veil on Facebook. The link will be down below in the pinned comment. And also, please submit your story if you have a true story that you would like me to tell for you. So it can be something scary or spooky, or something just strange and unexplained, or something positive and spiritual and beautiful. So in this reading, I was connecting to 2 cats in spirit from London, and their names are Twig and Google. Twig is a girl and Google is a boy. So one of the first things that they brought up is their brush. So when I asked their mom, is there any reason they would be bringing up their brush? She said, yes, I have a little pet altar for them, and one of the things on the altar is their brush, and I will show a picture of that here. So another thing that they brought up was a chair of some sort, some kind of chair or seating, and that one of the legs has been chopped off. So in my little brain, I could not figure out what this was about. I was like, is this a kitchen chair? And if it is, why would a leg be chopped off? I didn't fully understand it. So I asked her, can you understand them bringing up some kind of chair or seating with the leg chopped off? And she started laughing and said, yes, I do laps, walking laps at this particular park with my friend. And there's a bench that we always pass and sometimes sit at. And we noticed that one of the legs of the bench has been like sawed off. I really wish I had a picture of this. I asked her if she had a picture. She said that they actually joked about maybe they should take a picture of it. But then the next time they went, the bench was taken away by the city. Of course, they're not going to leave up a bench with a missing leg. And so this was just one of her cat's ways of giving her a piece of evidence to show her that they are with her, that they sometimes follow her, because your pets in spirit can see everything. Even when you're not home, they can see anything happening in your life. And she told me while they were at the park, a butterfly landed on, I can't remember if it was her or her friend, but the butterfly stayed on them for an hour. And I'll show a picture of that here. So this friend that she was at the park with did get brought up by her cats a couple of different times. So they brought up somebody who always wears a hat and somebody who always has cash on hand, which in today's age, it's a little more rare because most people pay with a card. And so she immediately knew that they were talking about that same friend that she does laps with at the park. He always wears a hat and he always pays for things in cash, always has cash on him. And the other way that he also got brought up indirectly was one of her cats showed me an image of them sitting in front of a chair and meowing, wanting up on the chair, and they said there's a pile of clothes on the chair. So in this image, the cat was showing me that he wanted her to take the clothes off of the chair so that he could go up there and sit. And so when I asked her if this makes sense, she said, yes, this chair was actually just given to me on loan by that same friend that she does laps with, that wears the hat, always has cash on hand. But once he saw how much her cats love the chair, he just let her have it. And she said her cats, in fact, absolutely love that chair. And if the chair would get too cluttered, like with clothes, the cat would sit in front of the chair and meow at her, like, hey, move the clothes. I want to sit here. So another thing that her cats brought up was a trip, and then they told me Cayman Islands, and I thought, wow, that's very specific. I hope that this is correct. So I asked her, does Cayman Islands mean anything? And she said, yes, I have a friend who lives in the Cayman Islands. She's actually visiting me in less than a week, where she lives in London. And she said that friend has invited her to come see her in the Cayman Islands. And I thought, well, maybe it's a good idea you take this trip. So then one of her cats showed me an image of somebody drawing some kind of image with their finger, and it was either on glass, like dirty glass, like a window, or a dirty mirror. I couldn't tell which one it was, but I knew it was one of them. And it looked like they were drawing like the face or a picture of a cat. And so when I asked her, she said, no, I don't know what that means. I can't think of anything. And I thought, that's really weird because I'm getting, a very specific image. So a day or two after the reading, I can't remember which one, she messaged me back with a picture saying, you won't believe this. She said she has a roommate and she didn't tell her roommate any details about the reading. And then when she went in her room, he had drawn on her dirty, dusty mirror a picture of 2 cats together inside of a sun. And she sent me a picture. And so this does happen on occasion where pets or people in spirit will tell me something that hasn't happened yet. So in the reading, my clients will say, no, I don't know what that means. And then they'll message me back, usually within the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days, telling me that what came up in the reading has happened. So there is no such thing as time. So people and pets in spirit can see everything, so they can see a little bit into the future. So then they showed me an image of something dropping and breaking, like shattering. In my mind's eye, I thought it was probably something glass. And so when I asked her, she said, yes, I've dropped not one, but several plates in the kitchen on the floor accidentally recently, and they have broken. And so another thing that they brought up was a horse. And so when I asked her, can you understand one of your cats bringing up a horse? She said, yes, when I went to the crematorium to have one of my cats cremated, it's like in a country area and there's like barns and farms around. And she said that as she was at the crematorium, right there next to it is horses. And she said one of the horses came up to the fence and was looking right at her, and she said it was like the horse was beckoning her or calling her to it, like kind of going like this, trying to call her over to it. Another thing that one of her cats told me was that they like to play catch. Very, very rare if I hear that from a cat. If I hear that, it's usually from a dog. So I was doubting it a little bit, but I've learned to trust everything that I hear. Even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, it usually makes sense a day or two later for my client. And while we're on the subject, my clients that are the most open, the ones that are very open-minded and willing to participate and have like a good attitude about this and understand that some of the reading will be interactive, because there are certain things that I'm not going to be able to fully understand the full context about. And so a mediumship reading is a three-way thing. It's a three-way participation between me, my client, and spirit. So like a triangle. So the more open that my client is, willing to say, let me think, what could that mean? Oh, I know what it is. Those are the readings that go the best by far. If somebody is more shut down and closed-minded and immediately says, no, I don't know what that is, those readings aren't going to go as well. And so when I asked her, can you understand one of your cats telling me that they like to play catch or play fetch? She said, yes, she has 2 hair ties tied together and she would fling. She had really high ceilings, so they would fling it and it would fly up, high and far. And she said one of her cats loved to go retrieve it and bring it back in its mouth. So then in the reading, I heard the words, I swear. So pets and people will tell me things in a specific way, sentences, phrases, words, rhymes, riddles, because they know what my subconscious mind is going to think of first when I hear things worded a certain way. So as soon as I heard I swear, what I asked her, what I thought about was a promise. And so I asked her, can you by chance understand one of your cats bringing up a promise? Because I'm hearing the words, I swear. She immediately got emotional and told me about a specific promise that she made to her cat right before her cat crossed over. The promise is a little bit personal, so we won't go into detail about what the promise was, but it was an awesome piece of evidence from her cat. So then one of her cats told me that there was something that belonged to them that she keeps near her. And then they also told me stuffed animal. So when I asked her, she said, yes, I have crystals that were like assigned to them and she keeps those on her bed. And that one of her cats had a stuffed animal that she said she thought looked like him. Google the boy. She said she got this stuffed animal so that he could lay on it when he was sick. Something that, could be a little prop for his head to make him comfortable, and that the stuffed animal looked a little bit like him. And she also currently sleeps with that stuffed animal and the crystals. Then one of her cats told me that she has been binge watching a show and then just told me the word ship. So when I asked her, does this make sense? She said, yes, I'm currently binge watching a show called Below Deck. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not sure if it's an American show or if it's just something in Europe. But she said she's currently binge watching that show. And she was also watching episodes of that show with her cat when he was still alive as well. Then a childhood pet stepped forward and told me their name. That does happen pretty often. We don't switch over to the pet during the reading, but people and other pets will step forward in the background and to say hello or to say I love you, just to let my client know that hey, we're here for her too. We showed up in this reading as well. They also told me that the month of September is significant. And so when I asked her if this is true, she said, yes, my birthday is in September. And that's also the month that I celebrated both of their birthdays as well. So all 3 of them. And another thing that they told me was that she dressed them matching. This one is kind of common in the reading, but I still love to see pictures no matter how many times I hear it. So when I asked her, she said, yes, I would put them both in these little snow hats, and she had matching Christmas scarves and that kind of thing. So I love that. So then I was given a man's name and a woman's name, and I heard disabled. And so when I asked her, are these family members in spirit by chance? Was one of them disabled? And she said that she couldn't take that information. She didn't know. She was unaware of any family members with that name. So she did, after the reading was over, she did go and ask her mom. And sure enough, the man's name was her mom's uncle in spirit. And the woman's name was her mom's disabled sister who crossed over when she was young. So sometimes I will get information that my client can't validate in the moment or that they're totally unaware of. And the pet or the person in spirit will still give me that information, especially if they know that my client is going to go ask a friend or a family member and then get validation for that piece. So again, that's just another reason to be really open-minded when you're in a mediumship reading. So another thing that I heard was the phrase, shine light on me. And then I heard red. So at first I was like, I have no idea. And then poof, I got a little image of a laser pointer. You would think that that would be something that would come up all the time in my reading. No, that was the very first time that I received that piece. I've had many cats in my life, but I've never owned a laser pointer. So when I asked her, did you play with your cats with like a red laser pointer? And she said yes. But not only that, I would just use light. So she would like shine the reflection of just regular light from the sun hitting her phone. And so she told me that she has a video of that, which I will include here. Also told me about some personal stuff going on in her life, which I will not go into detail here for privacy reasons, but it was just another one of their ways of telling her that we love you, we see what's going on, we care about you. And so I want you to take two things from this reading. Number one, there is no such thing as death. There is only transition back to our original spirit body. Spirit is indestructible. Spirit is energy, is light, and it is indestructible. It is permanent. So our souls never die, and they are always connected to you through the most powerful vibration in the universe, which is love. Their soul is free now, so they can come and go as they please between the earth realm and the spirit world, and they can see everything going on in your life. So don't ever think for a second that they are gone, because that's absolutely incorrect. The second thing I would like you guys to take away from this video is to remember to always remain open-minded, like I said in the beginning, because mediumship is very subtle. It can be very subtle. Sometimes it can be really strong. On occasion, I will see, because my readings are done over video calls, and on occasion I will see the spirit in the form of like a light orb with a light tail. Sometimes it's a beautiful color, and I will see it in the video behind my client just flying around. So sometimes it's very strong. I always get waves of goosebumps in every single reading because the hair on our body is an extension of our nervous system, and they are now energy, electromagnetic energy. And so when they're close to us, the hairs raising on your body is one of the ways that the body reacts when energy is close. So sometimes people see full-on apparitions. I've seen full-on apparitions. So sometimes it can be strong, but most of the time it is very subtle. And so, for example, I might get a very faint impression of Jack in the Box. Don't know how I received it. Wasn't sure if I saw it, heard it, just got Jack in the Box. And so when I ask my client, can you understand Jack in the Box? It's really important to not immediately say, no, why would I hear Jack in the Box? It's really important because of how subtle spirit communication is to be open-minded and take a breath, take a second to figure out if this does maybe mean something. Because I oftentimes get the most random and crazy pieces of information, and majority of the time it makes sense for my client. And so my client might say, oh my gosh, when I was a kid, Jack in the Box was mine and my dad's thing. We went every Saturday or whatever. That happens all the time. So be open. Please let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Also, again, if you like supernatural story times, the link will be in the pinned comment below if you would like to follow me on my new page, Tales Beyond the Veil on Facebook, which I'm really excited about. If you would like to schedule a mediumship reading with me, which is done over Messenger Facebook video call, so we'll be looking at each other, then you can message me on my Facebook mediumship page, which is AlisaAce/spiritual medium. That will also be linked in the comment down below. Thanks so much for supporting my channel. YouTube now has the option to hit the hype button, which really helps my channel as well. So if you wouldn't mind hitting the hype button on my video, I would be really grateful. Thanks so much again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.